첫 번째는 최근 트럼프 대통령이 서명한 행정명령, 미국의 샤워를 다시 위대하게입니다.
You wash your hands, and in my case, I like to take a nice shower to take care of my beautiful hair. I have to stand under the shower for 15 minutes till it gets wet. It comes out drip, drip, drip. It's ridiculous.
현지시간 9일 트럼프 대통령이 미국의 샤워를 다시 위대하게'라고 명명된 행정명령에 서명하면서 가정용 샤워기에 적용된 수압 제한 규정을 폐지했습니다. 해당 규정은 수자원 절약을 목적으로 오바마 행정부 때 도입됐는데요. 트럼프 대통령은 연방정부가 미국인들이 사용하는 샤워기까지 간섭해서는 안 된다면서 이 제한 규정을 폐지한다고 설명했습니다. 아울러 샤워기 수압이 약하면 결국 더 오래 씻게 되기 때문에 물절약 효과도 없다고 말했습니다. 수압 제한을 폐지하는 행정명령은 샤워기뿐 아니라 싱크대와 식기세척기에도 적용된다고 합니다.
Patrick Morrissey, West Virginia, just got elected. Mark Gordon. Mark, thank you. Because we have to get back to the most important people in the room, these people. You know that, right? So, the energy workers and the coal miners in the area that I'm standing on, and it's a lot of weight on this platform, so I don't know what's going to happen. I hope it's structurally designed for you guys. I don't know. But when the first campaign opened 2 coal plants every single week, and other countries likewise went very strongly back into coal. Some of them never got off. Those are the ones that didn't have the problems. The Biden energy policy was to put America last. We want to be last. We got to be last. Not a good policy. Under my administration, we're putting America first. It's very simple. America's always going to be first. On my first day in office, I terminated the Green New Scam. I declared the national energy emergency and withdrew from the unfair, one-sided, and extremely costly to the United States only Paris Climate Accord. You know, under the Paris Climate Accord, we had a terrible situation. We would have paid over $1 trillion very badly with coal and with other things. Now, under the executive order that I will sign in a few moments, we're slashing unnecessary regulations that targeted the beautiful clean coal. We will rapidly expedite leases for coal mining on federal lands, and these 2 gentlemen are going to do a real job of it. You've already started. And we'll streamline permitting. We will end the government bias against coal, and we're going to unlock the sweeping authorities of Defense Production Act, the Defense Production Act, to turbocharge coal mining in America. Under this order, I'm also directing Secretary Wright to use billions of dollars in federal funding to invest in the next generation of coal. The Department of Justice to identify and fight every single unconstitutional state or local regulation that's putting our coal miners out of business. And we are withdrawing all of those objections from our government today. It should have all been done because they're giving us only a few years left on Earth, right? Right, Greg? We were going to be gone. We're all going to be gone. The environment now. What they have to worry about is the nuclear heat. They don't have to worry about environmental heat. They have to worry about nuclear heat. That's the heat you're going to have to worry about. You don't have to worry about the air is getting warmer. The ocean will rise 1/4 of an inch within the next 500 to 600 years, giving you a little bit more waterfront property. They say this is going to, these guys can handle that. to do this? Very good for the country, and I said, let's use that same pen. I don't know, is anybody superstitious? Ron, are you superstitious? Let's use that same pen. After 45 years, the United States spends more money on education by far than any other country, and spends likewise by far more money per pupil than any country, and it's not even close. But yet, we rank near the bottom of the list in terms of success. 70% of 8th graders are not proficient in either reading or in math. 70%. 40% of 4th graders lack even basic reading skills, can't read. In Baltimore, 40% of the high schools have 0 students who can do basic mathematics. Not even the very simplest of mathematics. Despite these breathtaking failures, the department's discretionary budget has exploded by 600% in a very short period of time, and it employs bureaucrats in buildings all over Washington, D.C. And as a former real estate person, I will tell you, I ride through the streets of Washington and it says Department of Education, Department of Education. I said, how do you fill those buildings? It's crazy what's happened over the years. I'm pleased to report that after
트럼프 미국 대통령이 비트코인 등 가상화폐를 전략적 자산으로 비축하는 행정명령에 서명했습니다. 가상화폐 차르로 불리는 데이비드 sak스는 플랫폼 X를 통해 이같이 밝혔습니다. 미 연방정부가 소유한 비트코인으로 준비금을 충당할 예정이다. 형사나 민사사건으로 몰수한 비트코인이 자산 비축에 활용될 거라고 설명했습니다. 비축한 비트코인은 팔지 않을 것이고 가치 저장소에 보관할 거라고 덧붙였습니다. 하지만 비트코인 가격은 행정명령 서명이 알려진 뒤 오히려 급락했습니다. 9만 달러 선에서 거래되던 비트코인은 6%가량 빠지며 8만 7천 달러까지 떨어졌습니다. 리플은 8%, 카르다노도 10% 하락했습니다. 코인 업계는 미국 정부가 금이나 원유처럼 비트코인 등 가상자산을 대거 사들일 거라고 기대하고 있지만 행정명령에는 이런 내용이 빠져 있기 때문입니다. 시장의 관심은 한국 시각으로 오늘 밤부터 열리는 크립토 서밋, 이른바 가상자산 정상회의로 쏠리고 있습니다. 세일러 마이크로스트래티지 창업자와 브래드 갈링하우스 리플 CEO 등이 참석할 예정인데 트럼프 대통령이 어떤 발언을 할지에 따라 코인 가격이 다시 한번 요동칠 것으로 보입니다. 가상자산 업계가 발표하는 공포와 탐욕 지수가 극단적 공포를 가리키는 가운데 코인 투자 주의를 당부하는 현지 언론 보도도 이어지고 있습니다. KBS 뉴스 김시원입니다.
Is the main here, the governor? Are you not going to comply with it?
Complying with state and federal laws.
Well, we are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court. See you in court.
Every state. Good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics. And actually, for a Republican, I don't know about have they checked the Democrats too. We have a record so far for a Republican. Now it's 4 weeks. We've got a lot of weeks to go. We want to finish that way, right? But I just want to thank everybody because you've been really amazing. The job you've done has been incredible. Like 2 weeks ago, I signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports. Many Democrats are fighting me on that. I hope you continue because you'll never win another race. And it's just crazy. If you look at what happened with the boxing, if you look at what happened with the weightlifting numbers, where a record that hadn't been broken for 19 years got shattered. But, you know, the guy walks up who transitioned. He transitioned, and he knocked out that record by about 100 pounds. That will be a record not going to be broken again in a long. So we put a ban on it, and to protect women. I mean, the women, if you watch the Olympics, you had two transitioned people that were fighting in the women's boxing. They have women's boxing category, and if you saw that, it was brutal. What happened to the Italian woman was a really good boxer. After one punch, she said, no more. The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way, that's good. But I understand Maine, is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state. Good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics. Every state has a responsibility to comply with Title IX. They have an obligation, a legal obligation.